Our sort of main focus is trying to connect communities who are already fighting fascism and bring together climate activists, like anti-fascist organisers, trans and queer organisers and activists, Palestine organisers, land justice and Indigenous communities, and really have sort of like a meeting point to come together, organise, and learn together and build a more resilient movement. So we're focusing on the climate and the far right this year, and we're like talking about how to target fossil fuel companies that are helping to sustain these far right regimes, and preparing to defend marginalized groups which like under increasing oppression with the rise of the far right, and also learn how to defend social movements and resist increased like police and state repression. And as per usual with Climate Camp, there'll be workshops, there'll be Kayleys, and yeah, we really want this to like be a space to bring together lots of these communities who are already doing really important anti-fascist organising, and strategize and learn together about how we do resist the rise of the far right.
A nationalistic urge tending towards ethnic or Christian nationalism or even white supremacy, which may be expressed as racist abuse or violence. Related to this, there is often a strong anti-migrant invective, often employed in dog-whistle racism. We don't want to dilute the Christian values of our nation with Muslim immigrants may actually code for we don't want any more brown-skinned people in our streets.
Next, we have traditional ethics around human sexuality and gender, which in the hands of far-right groups can manifest itself as homophobic or transphobic violence, or the intimidation of staff and patients at abortion clinics.
Have you seen what's happening to the racial demographics in the UK? Have you seen what's happened to the racial demographics in Europe? Why is the burden on my nation to be the only one to be multicultural? Why is Afghanistan not multicultural? Because they kill you for it. They kill you for it. You, with the trans flag, you'd be killed in Afghanistan. You'd be killed in Pakistan. You'd be killed in any part of the world that supports the same ideology that these people worship.
These sort of things like demand our attention in a different way. There's so much stuff going on right now, and all these fascist regimes, what they throw out is just so like mind-boggling all the time, and no one knows how to react to that. But what we can't forget is that climate change is getting worse and worse every year, and the far right is inherently wedded to driving climate change further and profiteering from it to finance their regimes, and that's why we chose to like have this as a special focus for this year.
Far right regimes and like Reform, for example, want to abandon all our climate policies. Like, you know, we had Richard Tice, who's Reform's deputy leader, say that the evidence for man-made climate change is garbage and things like this. And it's not like just a coincidence that happens to be their policy, because they are funded by oil and gas interests. Like, I think between December and June 2019 to 2024, like 92% of Reform's donations came from oil and gas interests, like polluting companies and just outright climate deniers. So I don't think that it's an issue that anyone's blind to, like, at all, but it is, like, you know, as we were talking about previously, so much sort of overwhelming and mind-boggling stuff comes out of these far-right groups, and this ideology that it is sort of overwhelming, and it is this kind of constant saturation of things happening in the news all the time. That is like the sort of classic playbook of how to disempower people, because you are so overwhelmed that it seems like there's a million different issues to focus on. And I think one of the reasons